The question hung in the warm air of the Christmas Café like a fragile ornament about to fall, sharp enough to cut through laughter and soft music, gentle enough to reveal a wound. Is this seat only for the rich? The poor girl wondered silently as she stood there, holding a worn canvas bag, facing a man who looked like he belonged to a world she had only ever watched from outside glass windows dusted with snow. If stories about kindness, second chances, and unexpected humanity still matter to you, take a moment right now to like this video, share it, leave a comment, and subscribe to Kindora Life. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them. The cafe was glowing with daylight spilling through tall windows, chandeliers scattering soft gold across white tablecloths, and Christmas trees shimmering quietly in the corners. Outside, the city breathed in winter, but inside, warmth wrapped around everyone like a promise. For Arya Muner, warmth had become a rare luxury. She had walked in only to escape the cold for a few minutes, her shoes damp, her coat thin, her stomach empty except for hope. She had lost her job 3 weeks before Christmas, not because she was careless, but because the small tailoring shop she worked at closed overnight. Rent waited like a silent threat, and pride weighed heavier than hunger. Arya noticed the man immediately, not because of his expensive suit or the confidence in his posture, but because he sat alone at a table meant for two. A single cup of coffee steamed gently in front of him, untouched, as if he was waiting for something he could not name. His name was Ryan Calloway, though Arya did not know it yet. To the world, he was a CEO whose decisions shaped thousands of lives. To himself, he was a man exhausted by success that felt increasingly hollow. Arya hesitated before approaching. Every step felt like crossing an invisible border between those who belonged and those who survived. Her eyes drifted around the cafe, noticing couples laughing, families sharing pastries, strangers connected by celebration. She wondered when she had last sat at a table without counting coins in her head. The empty chair across from Ryan seemed to glow brighter than the rest, not because it was luxurious, but because it represented rest. She asked her question softly, without anger, without accusation, only curiosity mixed with shame. The words were not spoken in defiance but in surrender. Ryan looked up, surprised, not by her appearance, but by the honesty in her eyes. He saw someone who had been strong for too long. He saw the reflection of himself before success hardened him. The cafe staff watched from a distance, uncertain. People like Arya often came with invisible labels attached to them, and Ryan knew that. He also knew how easy it was to let comfort turn into blindness. He gestured toward the chair, inviting her to sit, not as charity, but as company. In that moment, the cafe did not feel divided by wealth, only united by shared silence. Daylight streamed across the table as Arya sat down, her hands trembling slightly. She expected judgment, pity, or polite distance. Instead, she felt something unfamiliar, dignity. Ryan did not rush to fill the silence with questions. He let it breathe. Outside, bells rang somewhere down the street, and for the first time that day, Arya felt like she could breathe too. Time moved differently at that table. Arya shared pieces of her life, not as complaints, but as fragments of truth. She spoke of her father who taught her honesty before illness took him away, of her mother who stitched hope into every torn garment, of dreams postponed but not erased. Ryan listened, not as a CEO evaluating value, but as a human rediscovering it. He realized how many conversations he had missed by surrounding himself with people who only spoke in numbers and outcomes. Ryan, in return, spoke about loneliness hidden behind glass offices, about success that demanded everything but gave little warmth in return. He admitted how strange it felt to sit in a cafe full of people and feel unseen. Arya understood that kind of loneliness, though its shape was different. In that shared understanding, something shifted. The chair between them stopped being a symbol and became a bridge. The cafe grew busier as afternoon approached. Sunlight softened, shadows lengthened, and the Christmas trees sparkled more brightly as if aware of the quiet miracle unfolding. Arya expected the moment to end quickly, like most kindness did in her life. But Ryan surprised her again, not with promises, but with possibility. He spoke about a foundation he had quietly funded for vocational training, one he had neglected to believe in fully. Listening to Arya reminded him why it existed. Arya did not ask for help. That mattered to Ryan. He offered an opportunity instead, one rooted in respect. Training, a chance to rebuild, not as a favor but as recognition of her resilience. For Arya, it felt unreal, like stepping into sunlight after a long tunnel. Yet even if nothing came of it, she knew that this moment alone had already changed her. As Arya stood to leave, the chair no longer felt heavy with questions. It felt earned. She thanked Ryan, not for money or opportunity, but for seeing her. Ryan watched her walk toward the door, realizing that for the first time in years, his coffee had gone cold while his heart felt warm. If this story is beginning to stir something inside you, if it reminds you of moments where kindness changed everything, please pause and engage with this video. Your likes, comments, and shares tell us these stories matter. Outside, daylight still ruled the sky, reflecting off snow and glass, carrying hope into the city. Arya stepped back into the cold, but she carried warmth with her now. Not just the promise of change, but the certainty that her worth was never measured by the chair she sat in. Before this story ends, leave a comment below and share what kindness means to you, or simply type, "Everyone belongs." Ryan remained seated for a long moment after Arya left, watching people come and go, finally understanding that no seat was ever meant only for the rich. Some seats existed to remind us that humanity begins where judgment ends.